What's up? So this is for Friday, end of the week, uh, August 28th, 2026. This recording did not get my voiceover, um, but yeah, I'm just going to voice this over as I usually do. So overall, we had relative equal highs in the morning that we had generated at 9 o'clock. On ES, we were holding the 15 minute for value gap. NQ was sort of holding it, but it was just showing a lot more willingness to be bearish. Now, we inverse the 3 minute for value gap, as we see to the left of us at about 8:30, and then we close through it, and then we have these equal lows down low that I really felt confident that we would go take. And price opened up, went to take them on NQ, and at the same time we see ES is much more willing to be bullish. So we sweep this internal low, and ES is already starting to move higher. It's really not showing a willingness to move lower. We have now a first presented for value gap on NQ, so now we sweep out these lows. I felt super confident in these being a draw. There was not a model for me to take it. I didn't see that 3 minute inverse. But anyways, continuing, price sweeps out this now further low that is down in price. ES is still holding bullish, so I'm seeing a crack in correlation. NQ has even swept out an internal low. I guess it didn't really sweep, it made a new low as ES is making a new high. And again, we're still holding bullish order flow on ES. So we sweep out the low. I could have longed here if I were fucking ICT, I guess. But I'm not. So at this point, what I would want to see is us close through the fair value gap on NQ and ES. We're still sort of holding the 1 minute for value gap on ES. Again, we're still kind of not showing that we're willing to move higher yet on NQ. If we close through this down or up close candle, price can continue to sell off. I don't know what's going to happen. We could rebalance to the first presented for value gap, or we could keep moving lower. I don't know what's going to happen yet. And then, I believe it's on this candle, we get this move higher. We close through this for value gap. On ES, we close through the change in the state. I put out my position, what I want to see. We have those relative equal highs still intact. And then on this candle, we close through the for value gap on NQ and on ES. So now we have an inverse on both assets. I don't get the best fill, but like it's very marginal. This is like it's really not far off. And then I entered the rest of my position closer to the change in the state. So I entered half, and then I entered the second half. We, again, retrace back to the inverse. And then at this point, I was like really needing to go to the bathroom. So I just left. And then this ends up getting really good delivery off of this inverse. We rebalance to the inverse. And then we see price move higher. NQ at this time is still below consequent encroachment of the first presented for value gap. We see it displacing through the first presented for value gap. Okay, and then it's basically all the way through it. So that's showing if it would have closed at consequent encroachment or below consequent encroachment of that for value gap and then started to sell off, I would have been a lot more bearish. But we close now through it. We're closing through the change in the state on NQ. And yeah, we sweep out sell side. We put it in SMT. We make our Judas swing. We take out equal lows. We have equal highs above us. And then we get really clean delivery off of this. Again, we have this we've got a wick on ES. Still confident. I'm not going to enter a trade and then start panicking and being like, oh my god, it's gonna go against me, I'm gonna take a loss. When you're taking a trade, you need to just execute on your model, and then what happens. If it plays out, it plays out. If you get stopped out, that's part of it. No one has a model that does not lose. And then we get really clean delivery on this. We take out that high from 9 o'clock. I move stop to break even, and then we get order filled for full TP. So I ended up taking 3 more trades on the day. One was long, which we see on NQ here. It was basically once we had moved lower, 10 o'clock opened, we closed through that last candle. That last for value gap that was holding us bearish. But really, it wasn't my model. We had taken internal liquidity. Liquidity is already taken on ES, so we just generate one more buy side level. And then this, that one just got immediately stopped out, and it was kind of a stupid trade. And then this was my 3rd trade of the day. It ends up getting stopped break even. I just saw super low resistance liquidity on ES on our right hand side. And we're starting to close and get through the 15-minute for value gap. We get really clean delivery. We take out internal buy side. We generate a high. And we close through these for value gaps. I entered because we closed bearish. We inversed the first presented for value gap. I entered because we closed through the first presented for value gap, which told me that we were bearish. We were not respecting consequent encroachment. We weren't holding it bullish. So price was telling me that it was intending to be bearish. I end up moving stop to break even, and then it is due for a retracement. It ends up getting stop to break even. So 1 loss, 1 break even on the fund heads, and then I end up taking 1 more trade on my eval, which was we basically inverse everything. There's really no more for value gaps holding us bearish, and these highs that were put in the morning, we end up manipulating sell side, and then we again put the same model in. We put in a 2022 model. We close through everything. We close through the 2-minute or maybe the 3-minute for value gap, and then we end up taking the relative equal highs, and then price once again sells off. So that was all from the day.
I fucking promise you.